about 11 o'clock. I've been up for a few hours. I got a few cigarettes left. That's really my focus, kind of in the abstract right now, is finishing this mix. I've got a few left. If I can't finish the mix in time, I probably will buy another pack. But that will take me about $3 over budget, and then that needs to be the end of it. It's also Saturday night, so either I'm done on Sunday or I'm done on Monday. It lets me start the week fresh, and that's kind of what I'm cycling around, is starting the week over. Um, there's just a little bit of Christmas present left as well. That'll be done by Monday too. So that's kind of the cycling process that I'm trying to get myself into. If the mix, I haven't opened the mix yet, if it's stable, I can probably finish mixing it in a few hours, and then I won't have to buy another pack of cigarettes. If it's unstable, I'm going to be screwing around all night again with waveforms and null files and all that kind of stuff, and I probably will buy another pack of cigarettes in the morning. But that has to be, like I say, I said at the beginning of the month that, well, this is the beginning of the month. I said at the end of December that if I bought those headphones, then I wouldn't have a choice, and that's what's asserting itself. So I have one more pack of cigarettes left in my budget, and then whether I like it or not, I'm done, at least for the month. And I think I'm done. I can routinely go 3 or 4 weeks without smoking, and then I always pick it back up again if I'm going to a concert or something. But if I'm moving over to the increased boost of estrogen, I don't think I'll have. I think it'll be very hard to convince myself to go back to the smoking. So, and there are a bunch of other reasons why it's. I mean, obviously, the financial consideration is a pain in the ass, and that's really honestly the big thing. This is an example where government policy to increase the price of cigarettes, in my case, has actually worked. If they were dirt cheap, I would not feel the incentive to stop that I do. That's the reality of it. I know there are health considerations and everything else, but I kind of have a live how you want, die young philosophy. So the health considerations aren't particularly high priority to me. I don't want to live past 55 or 60 anyways, and I probably won't, whether I like it or not, because my genetics, at least on my dad's side, are very bad. On my mom's side, they're actually the opposite. See, I don't think that, with longevity genes, I don't think you get this kind of middle point. If one parent has a genetic background that's very long-lived, and the other one has a genetic background that's very short-lived, I don't think you get this middle point. I think you get one or the other, right? So I'm either gonna die young or I'm gonna live to 100. I'll find out when I get there. But my focus for existence is really in finishing my discography, and after that I'm going to be focusing on writing for, and if I get 10 years of writing or 50 years of writing, and I'm sure it'll make a difference in terms of bulk and maybe even in terms of effect. But in terms of what I've completed, like in terms of my life goal isn't the music, and the writing is kind of just an addition to that. So I'm really set up to accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish in life by the time I'm 40. If I live to 55, then that extra 15 years of writing is just gravy. And if I live to 85, well, then that's just more gravy, right? That's, you don't have to be a dour asshole to come to terms with existence like that. You set goals, you determine what you want, and then whatever, I'm not saying I'm going to stop making music when I turn 40. I'm sure that ideas will continue to run, but I have a set path. I have a set number of ideas that I set out to complete. There haven't been a lot of ideas that have come up since then. It could partially be just because I've been focusing so much on the older stuff, but I haven't had a lot of really new musical ideas in a long time. I'm really focusing on completing ideas that I had left open. My brain is more, and has been for some time, more in a in an academic philosophical kind of space. I'll get to that eventually. I want to focus my writing around a website. Um, I think that I think peer review is a useful thing, but that's the only real benefit to traditional publishing. Um, and the way that peer review has gone over the last few decades really questions its value, anyways. And on top of that, I mean, I do a lot of speculative writing. Um, if I was writing something that I thought required a peer review, or if I do write something that I think requires a peer review, then I'll throw it out there. But because so much of it is speculative, I mean, a peer review on a speculative piece is not it's not the point of a peer review. The point of a peer review is to determine if something upholds accepted concepts of things, to ensure that the process was carried out without bias or corruption. Um, to find mistakes, right? If I'm throwing out a bunch of like speculative stuff, like light has no mass or economics is nonsense, or it doesn't make sense to peer review something that is purposefully challenging convention, because the expected result will be that it will fail the peer review because that's what I'm doing. A website is a better place for that kind of writing. And it will be a very large website with very many tentacles floating off on the side of it into all kinds of different ideas. But it's not. Actually, let me rephrase that. A lot of it is written. It's just in scattered, disconnected parts and needs to be put together. There's a complex genealogical aspect to it. Although I want to put that aside for quite some time as well. So, but I mean, this is like distant plans. Right now, I want to finish mixing this track. If it's stable, it'll be just a few hours. I can finish the cigarettes and finish the Christmas present. Um, in fact, if there's any Christmas present left after tomorrow, I'll put it aside for my birthday, which, as I mentioned before, is in the 13th of January. So, um, and Monday I'm starting clean. Um, so let's cross my fingers and hope that the system or it's the project, so the project file is stable, or at least the algorithm to produce stability is stable itself. Yeah, so it's a little after 1 and it's done. It's done. Done. I just need to do some math. And hope it works out. And it should all be up and finished by the time the sun comes up on Sunday morning. It's